Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Bahashem Brakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone who taught me his truth, and much respect to the Akim of their labor and his work. Peace and salutation to the hopefully elect who will scatter abroad across the four corners of the earth. To USA, Shalom. Yeah, so as you can see, the title of this lesson is called, It is Not Possible to Escape Thine Hand. All right, it is not possible to escape the hand of the Most High. And that's a feat that a lot of wicked individuals who have accumulated riches in the society, who have been somewhat illuminated, pertaining to the future, are trying to do. And which they're trying to get away from the coming judgment, all right, which is sanctioned by Yahweh, by Shem Shah, by the way of the scriptures, which encapsulates life in general. Everything that we see happening on earth is literally bound by prophecy, all right, dealing with the scriptures. And so when you think about that, the counsel of men, their purposes, and their fate can all be found within the scriptures. As you read here from the people's voice, trillions spent on secret underground cities to protect elites from near extinction event. Near extinction event. Now, I wonder what kind of event they could be alluding to. Could it be thermonuclear warfare? Ex-Bush official claim. So trillions are being spent. And this is, your taxpayers' dollars. I think it says it down here. 21 trillion in taxpayers' dollars. God damn. Okay, were used to build up these underground cities. So it goes on to say the U.S. government has funneled trillions into a covert network of underground cities designed to shield the elite from an impending near-extinction event, according to a bombshell claim by former Bush administration official Catherine Austin Fitts. So these bunkers are supposed to be what? A shield. A shield from this near extinction event. In which if these people really knew anything, they wouldn't be building bunkers right here in America, right? Because these elites, those who really are enlightened to what's going on, they're not building any kind of bunker right in America. They're building their bunkers overseas in these plush lands where war is not going to break out at, and which the Heavenly Father has them doing that to be preserved for captivity. Because once the elect of Israel are saved from America and New Jerusalem comes down from those chariots, okay, after the destruction of America, Babylon the Great, we're going to go throughout the earth and collect these high upper class elites of Esau, Edom, and the other nations, and they're going to go straight into slavery. Okay, so they're being preserved for that. So the Lord gave them enough wisdom to not build bunkers right here in America, but for everyone else who's building bunkers in America, man, these are going to be your graves, man. All right, you're going to melt within these bunkers. They're going to be likened to an oven, like literally. Let's go to Wisdom Solomon 16 and verse 15. So it says, but it is not possible to escape thine hand. See that? You're not going to be able to get away. So it says, for the ungodly denied to know thee, were scourged by the strength of thine arm, with strange rains, hails, and showers, were they persecuted, that they cannot avoid, and through fire will they consume, right? And this is written for our learning today, in which the strange rains in the form of today, the hails and the showers, is going to be in the form of ICBMs raining down on America, Babylon the Great, okay? Brimstone raining down on America, okay? And this place will be consumed by what? Fire. Fire will completely devour the land of America. It's going to be a lake of fire, literally from an aerial view, which will burn for a long time, so long to where nothing's going to be left here. And then at the end of that, it's going to be left as a desert land, as a memorial of how not to rebel against the Most High. So this is the preparation of the Heavenly Father. So, again, these bunkers are literally going to be these elites' tombs. And the Lord's going to terrify you motherfuckers. He's going to terrify you in these bunkers because you're going to be feeling that heat. It's going to get hotter and hotter, and you're going to melt. He's going to cook you, man. Malachi 4:1. For behold, the day cometh, all right, that shall burn as an oven. You see? You're going to roast. And all the proud, Esau, the third part of men, yea, and all that do wickedly, the 2/3 by people, your Rick Rosses, your Kim Kardashians, and any other Jake who has invested in bunkers, trying to escape this judgment, all the way down to your peon Jake, who wants America to continue. They're going to be stubborn. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. So this day this coming is going to burn every last one of you up. It says, and all the proud and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. Let's get this word all right here. Okay, it says all, the whole of, any, each, every, anything, totality, everything. Okay? As the scripture say, the elements shall melt with fervent heat. So this is a prophecy concerning the coming day of judgment of Babylon the Great America. Now, when you go to the book of Revelation, it tells you how these individuals who are lesser luminaries or just elites, higher luminaries or whatever it may be, know that this day is coming. So when you go to, Revelation, the 6th chapter? Let me see here. Yeah, so Revelation 6, and we'll start at verse 12. So the sixth seal of terror. The point is in verse 15 and 16. So it says, and I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake. And this earthquake ain't talking about your traditional, earthquake as you saw in like Turkey that killed like 50,000 plus, something like that. But rather this is talking about your thermonuclear destruction that's going to make the earthquake literally. When you read the book of Isaiah 24, real quick, in verse 20, verse 19, the earth is utterly broken down. The earth is clean dissolved. The earth is moved exceedingly. Okay, the earth is going to be moved exceedingly. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunk. So what is able to cause the earth to move like this, to where it's going to reel to and fro off its axis like a drunkard? It says, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon. That's why the Lord is bringing these nukes. All right, America has greatly offended the Heavenly Father with his witchcraft, his wickedness, and now the time for his wickedness has come into his end. So it says, and it shall fall and not rise again. You see? So America's going to fall and it's never going to rise up again. See that? So this earthquake is going to cause the earth to move exceedingly, to rock to and fro like a drunkard. So going back to Revelation 6 and 12, and I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake. All right, so when these nukes hit, it says, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, which means that the sun's going to be blotted out by the mushroom clouds. All the black smoke from the nukes is going to shoot up in the sky, and it's going to turn, all right, the day into night. It says, and the moon shall be as blood. So when the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree cast of her untimely figs, when she is shaken of a mighty wind. Now this is a dark saying pertaining to the missiles. So, and the stars, which are the missiles, because when they come, they're going to look like stars, all right, of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree cast of her untimely figs, when she is shaken of a mighty wind. So when a mighty wind, blows a fig tree, when the figs not ready yet, it's going to take a lot of force for those figs to come off. So when they do come off, it's going to come off in an arching fashion. You see? And that's the same way that the nukes are coming. Okay? So it says, and the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together. So this is talking about the mushroom clouds. It's going to depart as a scroll. The heavens, the sky, is going to depart as a scroll when it is rolled together. All right? So when you roll a scroll together, it literally looks like a mushroom cloud. You can go look that up. And every mountain and island will move out of their places. So before that take place, before that day that come to burn us in the oven, you're going to have these kings and these rich people who are going to hide themselves. Like when you read in verse 15 here, it says, and the kings of the earth and the great men and the rich men and the chief captains and the mighty men and every bondman and every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains, right? So what does it mean when it says that they hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains? Well, literally they went and hid themselves in these bunkers, all right, which are likened to resorts, retreats. Because when you go into this word den right here, Strong G 4693, it says a cave, a den, right? You got a cavern, by implication, a hiding place or resort. You see that? A hiding place or resort. A cave, a den. So yeah, a resort is somewhere where you can go and, you know, either for vacation or, let's see what definition we get. Yeah, so definition 1, a place that is a popular destination for vacations or recreation, or which is frequent for a popular purpose. Because when they go into these bunkers, man, they got all kind of amenities, pools, games, whatever, slaves to keep them entertained while they down there waiting this thing out. All right. So they're gonna go into these bunkers for the purpose of Yahweh Shai coming. And Yahweh Shai is coming not only with the great chariot, with the lasers, but he's coming with the missiles. He's gonna allow or sanction for these missiles to be shot. So verse 16 says, and said to the mountains, fall, sliding to the mountains and the rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. All right, for the great day of this wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? So who's going to be able to overcome or make it out of this great destruction? You see? Because the Lord said he's going to send forth, 200 million warheads. When you go to Revelation 9, and we'll start at verse 15. So it says, and the 4 angels were loose, which were prepared for an hour and a day and a month and a year, a specific time, right? For to slay the third part of men. So the angels, are going to be given the go ahead to work on the minds of these elites. These kings, these different nations, to shoot nukes at this place to slay the third part of men. The third part of men is dealing with Esau, Edom. All right, you got 3 classifications of men. You got the sons of God, which are the Israelites, and you got the sons of men, which are the other nations. And then you got the sons of the wicked, which are the Edomites, who reside right here in America as far as their kingdom is concerned, right? So this is going to slay the third part of men, Esau's kingdom. And the number of the army of the horsemen that's going to slay the third part of men were 200,000, translated 200 million. And I heard the number of them. So it's going to be 200 million horsemen, in which these are not talking about your traditional horsemen, but rather there's a dark saying for the missiles, all right? Because the missiles are equating to an army as well. Let's get this real quick. The book of Jeremiah 50 and verse 24. So it says, I have laid a snare for thee, and thou also taken of Babylon, which is talking about modern day Babylon, America. And thou was not aware. So when these nukes get shot, it's going to be likened to a snare, a thief in the night. And they're not going to know how to put it off. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord. So the Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shemah Shai, opened his armory, okay, and had brought forth the weapons of his indignation. And what are these weapons? The missiles, man. For this is the work of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shemah Shai of hosts, in the land of the Chaldeans, all right? Which were your wise men back in ancient Babylon, your warlocks and all that. So the army is talking about the Lord's weapons, which are the nuclear weapons. You can read about that in the book of Isaiah 54 and 16. The Lord created the smith to blow the coals in the fire to bring forth their work, an instrument for his work, ultimately to destroy the whole land. So these 200,000 troops are talking about the nuclear warheads, man. Okay. So from there, let's go to 2 Peter real quick. 2 Peter 3 and verse 10. So it says, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night. All right. A snare in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise. So this heavens right here is talking about America passing away with a great noise. Okay. This is Esau's kingdom. All right. This is that high mountain that you read about in the book of Isaiah, the 13th chapter. So let's go into this word heavens right here. So the root word, it says through the idea of elevation. Okay. Because heaven means to be lofty, a high place. Now, when you go on to this root word right here, it says a mountain. Okay, strong definition. A mountain as lifting itself above the plain. All right, and the mountain in the Bible represents a government. All right, a high place. Okay, and the highest form of government today is America. That's governing all the earth. All right. So the heavens shall pass away with a great noise. Now I want to go into this word great noise right here. Strong G 4500. It says with a loud noise. Okay, Strong's definition. It says a weird, whizzingly, i.e. with a crash, with a great noise. Okay. Yeah, so when these nukes pelt down America, it's going to create a great earthquake. And of course, that's going to be a loud noise, man. All right, that's that crash that we reading about right here. So I want to go into this word whizzingly and get a definition. So in the Merriam-Webster dictionary, all right, so the whiz, it says to hum, whir, or hiss like a speeding object, such as an arrow. See that? Such as an arrow or ball passing through air. See that? So you can't make this up. You can't make this up. And the missiles are known as arrows. You ever heard of broken arrow? Right? So the heaven's going to pass away with a great noise. And this noise right here goes into whistling, which is likened to an arrow passing through the air. See that? With a great, with a crash, it's going to make a great noise, man. So this is literally talking about thermonuclear missiles, which are known as arrows, passing through the heavens, and which are going to crash into America, creating this great earthquake and also a great noise. And so once that takes place, what's going to happen? Again, in the which the heavens shall pass away, Esau's rulership, with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. All right, so everything that's made up of elements that you see in America is going to be consumed. All right, it's going to melt with fervent heat, and that's what's going to create that great lake of fire, as you read in the book of Revelation. So the earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. See that? Shall be burned up. Let's go into this this word works. Strong G 2041. All right. So yeah, business, employment, that which anyone is occupied, that which undertakes to do, enterprise, undertaking. Okay. Any product, whatever, anything accomplished by hand, art, industry, or mind. So anything that these devils have created by the way of hand, the bunkers, all right, are going to be burned up. You see that? It's going to be consumed, man. So this is not going to be able to save you. These bunkers are not going to be able to save you in the day of the Lord's wrath, man. It says the earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. Now the whole earth is not going to be burned up, but America is going to be completely burned up. All right, you're going to have other pockets of fire across the earth as well, but America's going to get the greatest judgment of all time. Okay, everything's going to be annihilated, burnt up, right? So in this article right here, it was saying, let me see, let me go back into it. It was saying right here in a recent interview with Tucker Carlson, Fitz alleged that at least 170 high-tech bunkers, some buried deep beneath the ocean floor, have been constructed across America since 1998, hidden from the public view and accountability, man. So I thought that was heavy as well. Like I was saying before, everything is pretty much subject to the scriptures. The scriptures encapsulate everything that's going on. So, you know, they're building bunkers deep beneath the sea. Now, what does the scripture say about that? Amos, the 9th chapter, and verse 2, you know, and this is relating unto now, in these times, okay? First it applied to Israel, now it applies to this time. Amos 9:2, though they dig in the hell, right? Hell is the grave. So though they dig into these rocks, you know, underground to make these, you know, sanctuaries, then shall mine hand take them. You see, it is impossible to escape thine hand. Though they climb up to heaven, space stations, thence will I bring them down. And though they hide themselves on top of Carmel, I will search them out thence. I will search and take them out thence. And though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, can't make that up, see? Thence will I command the serpent, and he shall bite them. You see? So no matter where they go, they're not going to be able to escape the hand of the Most High. So as they're going in the ocean and building underground bunkers, the Lord's going to command Leviathan to go and get them out of there. You know? So in either way, you're falling into the hands of the Most High. And these people don't even know it, man. They're bound by prophecy. So who shall be able to stand? On the elect. Just want to go through that real quick. So Lord willing, you edify. Till next time I say, Shalom.